Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you? It's been a little bit, yeah. I'm sorry about that, but I'm gonna try and get back into things. I did film a video that was gonna be my first video back. I realized that it was kind of not it and then deleted it, and I'm filming another one. Anyways, so spooky season is over, whatever, but my channel is mostly spooky anyways, so it's fine. We're still gonna do some haunted locations because we stopped at, I think Florida was the last state, so we're gonna go to Georgia. And if you don't know anything about Georgia, Georgia has some of Georgia's one of those old states. So they've got a bunch of old buildings, they've got haunted stuff, they've got this list was so long that it took me forever to pick 5 places, because if I picked all of them, this video would be so long. But anyways, this video is going to be 5 haunted locations in Georgia. They're in no particular order. They're just the ones that I found the most interesting. Okay, let's get into this. Lake Lanier is a 37,066 acre reserve in North Atlanta. This place is known for being one of the deadliest lakes in the U.S. More than 200 people have died in the lake since the 90s, and more than 700 have died since the lake's creation in 1956. So that's crazy. The fact that I don't know, it's just 700 people have died in this lake since it opened in 1956, and that's almost 70 years of it being open, and there's 700 deaths and it hasn't even been 70 years. Wow. The lake is located in Georgia between Sugar Hill and White Sulphur Springs, on top of a town that was formerly known as Oscarville. Oscarville was a prosperous, predominantly Black community that experienced a lot of horrific events known of the southern states during the time period that before the lake opened. Oscarville was eventually flooded to create Lake Sidney Lanier, which still covers the remains of the town. Locals claim the souls of the town's cemeteries still haunt the lake, causing some of the mysterious drownings and boating accidents that happen there still to this day. There have also been numerous alleged supernatural sightings near Brown's Bridge. So, that's crazy to me. The fact that this lake is still open and being used, from what I gather, I didn't see anything about it not being open anymore, unless that article was just kind of old. But yeah, 700 deaths in less than 70 years of it being open. The next one is going to be Oakland Cemetery. It's located in Atlanta, Georgia. Oakland Cemetery is one of their famous haunted locations in Atlanta. It is the oldest and largest burial ground in the city. Founded in 1850, the cemetery is the final resting place for over 70,000 people, at least 3,000 of which are Confederate soldiers who died in bloody battles. Some visitors have reported soldiers hanging from trees or wandering the cemetery calling out their names in a roll call. From Confederate soldiers to victims of yellow fever, Many people who have experienced the traumatic deaths have laid to rest in the Atlanta burial ground. If you don't know anything about yellow fever, it was horrible. Like, it was one of the, like, some of the worst disease deaths that you could come across. Like, you were throwing up coagulated blood. It was not, like, that would be a very traumatic death to experience. Like, the whole being sick with yellow fever would be a very traumatic experience. I have no doubt. Like, so there is a lot of people who are buried in that cemetery who experienced something very traumatic that caused their death. So I'm not surprised that there are spirits still wandering, because some of them probably don't even realize that they're dead. The next one we're going to talk about is the Masquerade nightclub. The former Masquerade nightclub, located on North Avenue, is an old haunted building that dates back to the 1890s. The building was originally known as Dupree. I wrote this down, but I cannot read my writing. It was a mill, then a pizzeria, before being turned into the Masquerade. Local legend suggests that a woman died in an accident at the club, and you can still hear her screams when you're standing inside the building at night. Others have reported cold spots appearing randomly throughout the club, though no one knows where he comes from. Some visitors have seen the apparition of a tall black man hanging around this historic building. That's an interesting one. Like, I don't know how I'd feel if I was standing in this building alone, or like me and a small group of people just standing there, and then you just start hearing screaming. I'd probably freak out, honestly. I've had some weird experiences in my life that could be considered paranormal, or just, some people would probably say, oh, you're just whatever. But I've never heard somebody screaming before. I've just seen weird stuff that I can't explain. So, like, I don't know how I would do with, like, actual, like, sounds. The old pink house is one of the most famous haunted locations in Savannah, Georgia. And if you don't know anything about Savannah, Georgia, it's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the state of Georgia. It's one of the, like, original settlement places in Georgia when people were coming from England and all of there and coming here. But the house is supposedly haunted by the original owner. I'm probably going to butcher his last name, so I'm so sorry about that in advance. But his name was James Hapersham Jr. He built the house in 1789, and he died under suspicious circumstances. The official cause of death was listed as declining health, but many believe that he committed suicide after discovering his wife's infidelity. Even after the house was turned into one of the city's most popular restaurants, he continued to haunt the building. Employees of the haunted restaurant in Savannah report tables and chairs have been straightened or candles lit when no one was in the room. They leave the room only to return moments later to find the restaurant completely cleaned and organized. And to be completely honest with you, that's the kind of ghost that you want, okay? He in here cleaning up. I mean, I think that's a good ghost to have in a haunted restaurant. He'd be cleaning for y'all. It's what I'd want. I mean, where I work is supposedly haunted, and I say supposedly because I know people are going to argue about stuff being haunted. I've seen stuff in there that I can't explain, so, like, I fully agree. But I'm pretty sure that ghost ain't cleaning. The ghost is throwing stuff across the store. I've seen that many of times. Okay, sorry. Back on my thing. The final place that we're going to talk about is St. Simon's Lighthouse. The famous haunted lighthouse on St. Simon's Island was constructed in 1872, replacing the old lighthouse that was destroyed during the Civil War. It's located an hour south of Savannah. One night in 1880, lighthouse keeper Frederick Osborne and his assistant John Stevens were said to have gotten into a disagreement about one of their wives. The argument turned deadly when Stevens shot Osborne, killing him instantly. Stevens was later acquitted of the murder, but the ghost of Frederick Osborne is said to haunt the St. Simon's Lighthouse to this day. Employees have reported hearing ghostly footsteps on the stairs and tales of lighthouse maintenance being mysteriously completed while they slept. That's another one of them. Like, he's just reliving his life. He is continuously doing lighthouse maintenance. He's helping y'all out. He thinks that you're his assistant. He probably doesn't even fully remember what happened to him. But, yeah. These, I would have to say, are probably some of the least scary ones that I have read about haunted places before or even heard of. I have never been to any of the haunted stuff in Georgia. I mean, I've been there plenty of times because I live close to it. But I would love to go to Savannah and do like a ghost tour and stuff. I'm not even like, I've been to a few haunted places. Sometimes I didn't even know if they were haunted before I went. Like, well, okay, I've been to the lighthouse in St. Augustine, Florida. I knew that it was haunted previously before that, but I didn't realize that I was going to that lighthouse. I don't know. I was young, but, and I mean, nothing really happened while I was there. But I did realize that I'm not meant to be walking that little area above at the top of the lighthouse. That was one of the most scariest things of my life. Not even paranormal, just all of that. Thank you for watching this video. It wasn't all that long, but yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. If there are any places, if you're from Georgia, let me know if a place that I did not talk about. If there are some places outside of Atlanta or Savannah that you think that I should talk about in another video. Because once I go through and do all of the states, any of them that have a lot of haunted locations, I might go back and do another like 5 haunted locations, another 5 haunted locations in whatever state. Those might not be in any particular order, just like a little continuation, because there are a lot of haunted places in a lot of these states. Like, Georgia has a ton, Florida has a good bit, and I'm sure, like, I'm going to continue to find a lot of states that have a lot of haunted places as I continue on, because I still have a lot of states to go. But yeah, so if you are interested in seeing more haunted videos like this, please let me know by liking, subscribing, and commenting about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.